Somebody that I like to affectionately refer to as the Archbishop of Talentberry tried to take credit for Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock and the Attitude Era and water and air and trees. Steve Austin went out there and cut a promo, and he was so glad that the trappings of the ringmaster had been ripped from him, and he could finally be himself. And he went out there and he cut a wrestling promo, just like anybody else would have done, because Jake had been talking about the being born again and the whole Bible thing and everything. And Austin said, hey, you thump your Bible and you say your prayers. Well, Austin 3:16 says, I just kicked your ass, right? And the next day at Raw, already, and he's still a heel, but the next day at Raw, the signs everywhere from the balcony on down to ringside, Austin 3:16, Austin 3:16. I'm standing next to Vince McMahon. We're looking out. I said, I think we got something. The best things in wrestling, and JR disagreed with me or bear it out, either one, whichever you really feel, the best things in wrestling, the biggest money draws in the history of wrestling, the biggest money angles, you can plan all you want, and you can try all you want, but the best stuff is the stuff that just happens. And that just happened. And the fans took it and ran with it, and then Steve was able to carry the ball because of his talent. And anybody that says that they wrote his shit or they created his character, that was the whole idea. They believed in Steve Austin because he wasn't a character. Say what you want about wrestling, that motherfucker was real. That's why he got over. You can't write that.
I do just want to clarify, that was not the story you told me. So Jim arrived the other day.
I don't remember, what did I tell you?
Well, actually, he couldn't understand your question.
That's very possible.
What the hell did you say? I think we should have an interpreter up here. Where's Harley at? Harley, you here, honey? There she is. Could you just come here and stand around and...
Can you believe this, ladies and gentlemen?
I'm
but
kidding.
no, what Jim Cornette
By the
told
way,
me...
we have one guy here tonight from Norway. Where are you? We can't see you, just yell. Okay. He told his wife he was going to a convention, for real. He can't have an autographed picture because he can't take anything home. So everybody take a picture of him and tweet it. You've lost complete control of this already. It hadn't been 5 minutes.
So Jim gets off a flight, he's Xanaxed out his nut, and we go for lunch, and he leans forward as he's eating his burger, and he said, did you know that O.J. Simpson helped create the Attitude Era?
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Well, now I remember the story. I'll say this real quick because I'm eating into Jim Ross's time. I've saved the main event for last. O.J. Simpson created the Attitude Era, and he owes me $5,000. Because I booked Jake the Snake Roberts when he was out of WCW, before he went back that run for the WWF, in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. And I put my title on him, Smoky Mountain Heavyweight Champion. Thank you. That's not as many fans as we had in Tennessee there. That's why I'm not running it. No. But anyway, so I put the belt on him. He comes the first time, but Randy Savage was on that card too. So everybody, the money was up, everybody's payoff was good. The next month, June 17, 1994, Knoxville Civic Coliseum. Dirty White Boy versus Jake Roberts, rematch. Jake has DDT'd the Dirty White Girl. White Boy's going out for revenge. This other thing happened on June 17, 1994. That's why the date is ingrained in my memory. The white Ford Bronco is going down the highway, right? It's on every news channel. I'm already at the Coliseum. Robert Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express, comes in and says, O.J. Simpson's murdered his wife and they're chasing him down the interstate. And now, Hoot Gibson will tell you a rib and a heartbeat and make it sound like he means it. So I'm like, yeah, sure, fine. Then Brian Hildebrand, Mark Curtis comes up and says the same thing. We had a great advance, that's all we had. Not a single walk-up. Everybody's watching TV. So I took a bath there. The house was like $5,000 worse than what I thought it was going to be. I asked Jake, because he said he'd work with me. He was not on a guarantee. It was if it was there and blah, blah, blah. But his wife came also. Didn't book her. She just showed up. I said, Jake, will you take this? Because the next night in John City was better and et cetera. I said, but, for Knoxville, okay, no problem. And she said, well, we won't be back. I didn't book you to begin with, lady. Then she leaves and Jake says, don't worry about her, I'll take care of it. Yeah, he took care of it all right. I didn't see him again for a year and a half. So the title got switched in Bluefield, West Virginia. But anyway, the point is, if O.J. Simpson had not murdered his wife, besides the fact that he owes me the $5,000 he took off the house in Knoxville, then Jake would still be the Smoky Mountain champion, and as a result, he might not have gone back to the WWF and got his ass kicked by Steve Austin, thereby creating the Attitude Era.
Any thoughts, JR, on any of that?
Well, first of all, you're lucky that I don't think Jake would still been a champion. I don't think. The thing about the Austin interview, real quickly here before we move on and try to decipher what Kenny's saying, is that the look on Michael Hayes' face, if you go back and look at that moment, if we had been on a tape show, I doubt if that interview would have made air, or at least part of it would have been censored. Because I saw Hayes' face, the look of Hayes' face was sheer fright. And of course, we were out there doing our work, so it was just so organic and real. And I think what Corny's getting at is that Austin never, if you think about Austin's character, and you can think about a lot of guys this way, it's hard to say who he imitated. You see guys, a lot of young guys now, they have, which they should have influences. But they should make those influences their own and not try to be an impersonator. And Austin he's an original character is the bottom line here, no pun intended. Originality is a big deal. And so anybody that's thinking about getting in the wrestling business, or anybody that's in the wrestling business, or if you're a fan of a higher level and you feel like you have good information and knowledge of the product, you should be drawn, and probably are drawn, to those that are unique. They're one-offs. They're one-of-a-kinds. And I think that's kind of what the business is missing now. There are guys on TV that since I first saw them on television, they have the same moveset. They're doing everything in sequence. So it's almost like that running gag about Ric Flair. Listen to Ole Anderson or some of those guys that don't like Flair. They'll tell you that he has the same match every night. Every night. I don't know if that's necessarily true. There's a lot of the same elements. There's no doubt about that. But they're all good, by and large. But the issue is that guys get into the comfort zone. And I'll move on from this point. No matter what you guys do for a living, no matter your personal relationships, your business relationships, or anything else, if you allow yourself to reside in a comfort zone, you're just one step away from reversing and going the other way. In other words, you can't stay the same. If I was a sales manager and it's like, here's the deal. If you're a sales manager and you put all your salespeople on salary and not on commission, they very quickly find their comfort zone because they don't have to sell. They just get their check every week. It's like working.
Which doesn't happen often in wrestling these days anyway. They don't sell.
It's like, it's right. It's not delivering and getting big checks is much like working in WCW back in the Monday Night Wars. Don't deliver, get paid a lot of money, and work when you want to. It's not about the business. And that's another thing about the wrestling business. I will say one more point, is that we in it, that are still in it to some degree, we've got to figure out ways to contribute to it and make it better. And, if our little show here tonight can help enhance your being a fan, you learn a couple of things, we had some fun in the Q&A, then we've done our part for our business that we both love and have been around for years. So I think that's the thing about this deal is that all of us need to contribute and give something back and support the promotions. Remember, comfort zones, relationships, your religion, your job, your significant other, whatever, if you start feeling everything is comfortable and there's no reason to improve, I promise you, you're getting ready to change direction.